HPV? Nope. No, what is it? Hewlett-Packard video? I don't know.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Human papillomavirus. I think that's what it stands for.
HPV stands for human papillomavirus, and while many people are unaware of its existence, HPV is quite common. More than 30 types of the virus are transmitted through sexual contact. In most cases, HPV infections are not active long enough to cause serious problems. However, research shows that if a high-risk HPV infection persists and is not treated, it could lead to cervical cancer. But how big of a concern should cervical cancer be? According to the American Cancer Society, in 2007, about 11,150 cases of cervical cancer will be diagnosed in the United States alone. About 3,670 women will die from cervical cancer in the United States. Cervical cancer occurs most often in Hispanic women. African American women develop this cancer about 50% more often than non-Hispanic white women.
Human papillomavirus is a very, very, very small virus. And they have found that sometimes some condoms do not prevent its spread because of the tiny, tiny size of the virus.
The number of cervical cancer deaths in the United States has tremendously dropped during the past years thanks to increased use of the Pap test.
Pap tests have been around for a long time. They're up till now have been our greatest tool for screening for cervical cancer in women. And it's something that women, once they turn 18 or when they become sexually active, whichever happens first, they need to be getting an annual Pap smear.
Until last year, regular Pap tests were the only proven way to reduce the risk of cervical cancer. In the summer of 2006, Gardasil, a vaccine against HPV, was approved by the Food and Drug Administration. This was the first vaccine targeted specifically to prevent cancer.
This new vaccine that has been developed is a preventive measure. We're trying to prevent the disease. We're trying to prevent getting the virus because we cannot cure it.
The Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices recommends the vaccine should be given to girls 9 to 12 years old or before the onset of sexual activity. Merck, the company who manufactures the vaccine, highly advised that parents get their daughters vaccinated as a preventative step in their future health.
We, at Planned Parenthood of Metropolitan Washington, we do recommend it. We think that it's a great advance, as I said, in public health. It's been found to be an incredibly safe vaccine.
Many others disagree. Conservative groups believe that imposing such a vaccine may encourage young teens to think that casual sex is safe.
What is the age that girls or women should be vaccinated? That's a difficult question. As a parent, it's hard to think about having your 9-year-old vaccinated if she has never even thought about sex. And parents worry that just introducing this is going to encourage girls to become sexually active at an earlier age. That's what makes mandatory testing difficult. It would actually be better if this vaccine was marketed as an anti-cancer vaccine rather than an anti-sexually transmitted disease vaccine.
Another concern regarding the preventative vaccine is the price tag.
At Planned Parenthood, there are almost 120 different Planned Parenthood affiliates across the country, and some of them are offering the HPV vaccine, which is called Gardasil. And here at Planned Parenthood of Metropolitan Washington, at our 5 health centers that we have across the metropolitan area, we started offering it, and we've had to withdraw it from our services, hopefully just temporarily, because it is a very expensive vaccine to offer at the moment. And we're working with Merck, the pharmaceutical company that supplies Gardasil, to try and reduce the cost for us to buy it, because we at Planned Parenthood of Metropolitan Washington, we provide these health services to women of any income, and we work on a sliding fee scale. So A lot of our patients are low income and perhaps cannot afford to pay the $300 to $400 for the vaccine, which is a series of 3 different shots. And a lot of times insurance companies aren't covering it, or Medicaid or the state is not covering it. So, so we're working on being able to offer it again at that, at a greatly reduced price to all women in this area. Women who have started to get the series of 3 shots are still able to come to us to finish the series. But we're not actually starting any new patients on it at the moment.
The full treatment of Gardasil can cost between $400 and $500, but it could potentially save thousands of lives.
The vaccine is expensive. However, the cost of treating cervical cancer is much more expensive.
This has been Grant Collins for The Inner Loop.